Hey, this is Robert, and thank you so much for tuning in to Station Square. And hope everybody is doing a-okay out there. And yeah, I just got back, like literally doing this after a very exhausting weekend. Like, just so much happened, but it's all pretty good stuff. So, regardless, I'm just back in the game. Just literally hopped in here, just did my auditions before even doing this. So. Yeah, the voiceover grind just never really stops. And I know it certainly is the case with my lovely guest in the corner. And you might, for all of you hardcore Mario fans, you might recognize her as the OG voice of Rosalina, as well as doing a lot of other Nintendo characters. Like, if I were to pull up her resume, like, it is just very, 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 very big as it is. So, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is Mercedes Rose in the corner.
Exactly. Yes. Although I will say Nintendo spelled my name wrong in the credits. So awkward. It's Mercedes, just like the car. And in
Yeah.
my contract was correct, the paycheck was correct, but in the credits, they spelled Mercedes with a Z. So
Mhm.
yeah, Mercedes. So it kind
Yeah,
of,
Mercedes.
Mercedes, like, oh, thank you so much. But that's all right. So yeah. Hi, everybody.
Oh, yeah. And like I mentioned, you've done so much, so many, you have a lot of credits under your belt, like you not only in Nintendo, but you've also done a lot of, we were just talking beforehand, like you've also done feature films, network television, commercials, and doing stand-up and being a host. And yeah, there's just so much that we can go off from just that alone. But we got like 20, 30 minutes to fill in, so let's get this started.
What do you want to know?
Yeah, like I mean, I would just go with the generic, like, how did you get started? But I guess for you in particular, like, you've always been, I guess, enamored with acting, like, when you were really young. So, what was just the one thing that happened that just kind of made you have that little, gave you the little push or have that little light bulb moment of, like, hey, you know what? I think I can actually do this. So, what was that moment in your life where you're just like, you know what? Let's do acting?
Yes, actually, that is a very good question. I think it is different for everybody. And
Yeah.
when I was growing up, I am an only child, Aries,
Wow.
redhead, whose mother named her Mercedes Rose. So I mean, there wasn't a lot of hope for me to do anything that wasn't creative. So I always wanted to be an actor, but I didn't really realize that there was such a thing as a working actor. I kind of thought everyone was famous and that was it. And so I don't know why. So when I was in my early 20s, there was a television show here in Oregon where I am located who they were looking for extras. And at the time, I was like, oh, that sounds like fun. I love television. Again, only child. So, television was my babysitter. And so I went to this open casting call for extras. It was a television show called Nowhere Man. It only aired for 1 year, starring Bruce Greenwood. And I immediately fell in love with being on set and everything that is involved. And being super naive, I just walked up to the casting director. I never do that today. And was like, hey, how do I become an actor? And sweet, sweet woman, Nanette Troutman, may she rest in peace. She recently passed. She totally took me under her wing and told me where to go and who to talk to. And I got an agent, and that was it. And it just sort of snowballed from there. And I love it. I love everything about it. And then one day, my agent sent me to a voiceover audition, and I didn't know anything about that. I didn't know anything about, I was like, where's the camera? I was so naive. Like, no, it's a voice audition. Here's the microphone. And I fell in love with that. And so now it works out really well because you don't really age out of voiceover. And on camera, I'm considered old. So, yeah, so voiceover became my first love. And I can do it from home. I have a home studio and I have clients all over the world. And I love it. It's a great way to connect with people. And that's kind of how it started. So it's all I've ever wanted to do, ever.
It just kind of stemmed from you just I mean, being an only child is kind of like, you kind of want to be an act. I mean, I was always kind of like the one that just is always expressive. So I'm just like, hey, you know what? Why not just do voiceover where you could just pretty much do a lot of this stuff behind a microphone and nobody sees you and you kind of get paid to doing it.
Exactly. You
Sign
get
me
talk, you
up.
get to talk for a living. I use that
Yeah, you can
hashtag
talk.
hashtag I talk for a living.
Yeah.
Um, and it's absolute, it's performing and even the most boring voiceover jobs, I fall in love with them.
Yeah.
I love it. I love the performance. I love that it's only you and the microphone and how you interpret the script. And I just, yeah, it's everything about it is magic.
Yeah. I recently did like a few audiobook stuff, and it was kind of like, I thought it would be the one part of voiceover where I'm just like, oh my God, so much time and editing. But the more I started doing it, I was like, oh, you know what? This is actually kind of neat to just, narrate stuff that admittedly I'm not very interested in, but the topics that I would talk about is like, oh, okay, this is actually very fascinating. Okay, I'm kind of starting to dig this.
Isn't
And
that
yeah, it's
funny?
kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Audiobooks are very specific and
they are. Yeah.
yeah, most of the people who do audiobooks, that's kind of their niche. That's what they do. I personally don't enjoy doing audiobooks myself, even though I read a ton.
Right.
And this is so terrible, but mostly it's because it just doesn't pay as well, honestly. I mean,
Yep.
it's per finished minute of the actual book, and not that, let's just be honest, not that Nintendo pays that well. That was not, you don't do Nintendo for the pay. Um, Honestly, political ads pay the best. This has been a very busy, I just got done doing like 3 political ads for other states, and political ads tend to hire people without accents. And so I'm grateful for them this time of year, even though I hate political season, but political voiceover is pays the bills. So
Oh yeah, especially with this upcoming season. Oh
yeah,
boy.
it's been very busy. It's been very busy. So I was very happy to stop and get out of the booth for a few minutes and just talk about anything but political ads.
Mm. I mean, like, we could talk politics all we want, but we just really wanted to voice a character that is just kind of like out there. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, exactly. Yeah. So no, nothing tops Rosalina. That is definitely the thing that gets me the most voicemail and the or fan mail rather, not voicemail. Fan mail. I was like,
Oh,
don't
no,
leave
no,
a
no,
message for
fan mail.
me.
Yeah, yeah,
Fan
fan
mail.
mail. I was about to
Yeah.
say, yeah.
I was like, not voicemails. No, no, no. I'm very careful. My phone number is not out there. But yeah, that is a lot of it. Is Nintendo fans are absolutely the best. And I love when people send me all the videos, the YouTube videos that they've made or the TikToks that they've made about. There's
Oh
one the
my
other day that
God.
someone sent me about why is Rosalina's voice change? It's like,
Oh,
oh,
oh, those videos.
you did a deep dive. It's like,
Trust me,
yeah,
these people they know Mario and they also
oh,
know like I know that Sonic is technically not a part of Mario,
yeah.
but yeah. I mean like with Sonic the Hedgehog particularly, it's kind of like people really know a lot about this stuff, man. I mean like
Mhm.
there's actually no no no. Wait. Rosalie, I am literally looking this up on YouTube right now.
There's a lot.
Yeah, there's so many. Yeah, evolution of Rosalina's voice,
Mhm.
so many clips, voice comparison. Oh, why doesn't Rosalina sound like Yeah, there's like so many deep dives. And the funny thing is, I think I've actually talked with all three of them. At least with
Of
the
the
English.
creators. Oh,
Well,
with
yeah,
the Rosalina.
no, not creator. Yeah, trust
Oh,
me, the creators of like, Nintendo and stuff. But I'm talking like the voice actresses that have played this character. And
oh,
I
you've
think
talked to
it's
Laura Faye Smith.
Laura, let me see. I think it was like once, and then there's another one named Carrie.
Carrie. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I think I've talked to all three of them. That is
Oh, that's
insane.
wild. That's
Yeah.
funny. Well, I
I mean,
do I do appreciate that people love the character. What's really funny is how often people think that we made the choice. It's like, trust me, Laura, Carrie, and I, we all want to do Rosalina. We did not, it was not us. It was Nintendo that changed it. And that happens. It happens a lot. But
yeah.
yeah, it's really funny how so often I get these letters from people, these emails, and they say, "Please come back." I'm like, "Go talk to Nintendo. I'm happy to come back."
Yeah, it's kind of like sometimes you just don't really know because as somebody who has just recently gotten into casting myself, it's kind of like sometimes it could just be like, oh, maybe an actor isn't available, or there's a specific cadence in the voice that they want, or there could be so many different factors. Like it could be the director, it could be the client, or in this case, Nintendo, where it's just kind of like, you know, I'm not gonna pretend like, oh, like Nintendo is I mean like no company is perfect, but I know that at the end of the day, it is like it all comes down to the business of what they wanted, how they want to represent the characters. That's pretty much it's the bottom line
For
that I was trying to
sure.
make.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Am
And
I
I
making sense?
totally,
Sorry, I kind of
totally.
rambled
And
on.
actually one of those ones you mentioned, I think was the evolution one, that
Yeah.
YouTube, they talk about how the voice has changed over the years, and one of the things is that the character has grown and mature. And I think that's probably more of what it is that I originated the voice and then the character changed and grew and they wanted a more mature sounding voice or something, which I'm like, okay, that makes sense. The thing that's weird is that when I went in and did Rosalina originally, they used it for a number of different games. And then it was a couple years later that I literally got an audition that was like, hey, it's a voiceover for Rosalina. And they used my voice as the example of what they were trying to match. And I'm like, or don't just use me again. I don't, and my agent was like, hey, it's up to you if you don't want to audition again. I was like, I don't know. I'm kind of a little insulted. I'm like, it's fine if you just say, we want a different voice or whatever, but you're literally using my voice and saying match this. I'm like, if you want to match, that's me. But whatever, it happens. So I was sad. I wanted to do it more. I really did. But also, there's nothing you can do about it. So unless someone
Exactly.
knows someone at Nintendo and can make it happen, I'm happy to reprise the role. So
Yeah. I also heard this story from a previous guest, Bob Bergen, who is
mhm,
Porky Pig and does a lot of the Looney Tunes characters. He
yeah,
would literally had to re-audition for Porky like dozens of times because it's either due to a different, showrunner, is a different show, or it's a different producer, a client. So they don't really know what they wanted in Porky. Like, even though that Bob has been doing Porky for a long time, sometimes somebody may have a different take. They want a different interpretation or how they wanted Porky to sound or be represented. So, you got to re-audition for the same parts, even though you've been playing the same character for a while. You
yeah.
still got to re-audition. Trust me,
Yeah, I know.
experience. Yeah.
I know. Now I'm like, damn it, Bob, you're right. I should have, but I was so shocked and it was a busy time. There was a lot going on. I was shooting a feature film at the same time. I was producing some stuff.
Congrats.
There was a lot going on. And so I was just like, whatever. I was very over it, but Bob is right. I should listen to
Yeah.
Bob. He is a friend. I should listen and
Oh
bend
yeah,
know that.
Mr. Bergen. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's legend. He is a legend.
Oh
Um,
yeah. Yeah.
but yeah, so yeah, I should have been more like Bob, but
Yeah, because it's like it's about respecting the integrity of the character and also like I mean it I do feel you where it's like it's kind of weird how they want you to I mean I'm not this isn't just me just like totally critiquing here, but it's just like it does feel kind of odd where I mean personally like it's nothing wrong with that, but it's like, I kind of voiced the character for a while and they want me to they use a reference of my voice and I have to do something I don't know.
right. I didn't even know how to do anything different. I was like, okay, or
It's literally,
would I have done
yeah.
anything different? Yeah. So honestly, I probably should have just taken what they sent and put it into my own file and just sent it back, like without even re-recording. That's what I should have done. But yeah, and actually it does happen quite a bit. The other day I got an audition for it was a non-broadcast, nothing very exciting, but the voice sample that they sent that they were trying to do something similar. I honestly thought it was me. I had to go look through my emails. I'm like, did I do this job at some point? It sounded so much like
Right.
me.
Yeah.
It was very weird. And what's really weird is the client is an AI type based thing. And I'm like,
Oh,
what is happening here? I finally decided it was not me, but it freaked me out how much it sounded like me. It was very weird.
oh God, man, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Now you see why we're kind of in a strike right now.
Yeah, a little bit, a little bit. The AI stuff is terrifying, and I think there's a lot to be said for monitoring what's happening very carefully. I actually was one of the finalists for Surrey back in the day, and it was down to like me and maybe two other people, and now I'm kind of glad I didn't get it.
Yeah. Well, all I can say is this. You just can't replace a person that can give you more. I mean, it's a little more expensive, but you can have better results,
Oh,
like actual
definitely.
genuine emotions and a better sounding performance in general. I'm just saying.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I can't tell you how often a client will say, especially a client I've had, for a while, they'll say, well, yeah, we love it. We love it. We're going to have our secretary do it or whatever. And then they come back and they're like, wow, he sucked. No, what are we thinking? And they're back. So it is not just talking. And that's where I think people get a little wrapped up in it. But especially when it's something like a video game or a cartoon animation, something like that, those are performances. So I think that when people realize that, it helps. But I love that Rosalina has been so important to so many people. I get the best fan mail from people talking about how that game, that character changed their lives, and I just that brings me so much joy.
Yeah, I actually do have a few plushies sitting around, but it's like Bowser, Pikachu, and Luigi, but I don't have like a Rosalina like
Well,
merch or
you have to
yeah.
get one.
Yeah, I should at some point. I really should. I used to collect plushies, but then I kind of stopped.
That's
I'll
okay.
start back again. It's never too late to start back a hobby.
That's right. Exactly.
I mean, look at
Exactly.
the posters I have behind me.
I know. I love your background. It's great. It's so good.
Yeah, thank you. But yeah, like with Rosalina though, like you said, you got a lot of fan mail, and it's just like I said, and it's kind of like what you were saying earlier. Like a lot of, communities and fan bases can be a little intense, and trust me, I've been in a lot of them that can get pretty wild. And I'm just gonna leave it at that. But no, like with the Mario fan base, like I mean, just recently, I remember there's like I mean, Charles Martinet has been really traveling around the block, and he's somebody that I really would love to talk with. But I mean, with all due respect, like I know that he's a pretty busy guy, but there's no, I mean, it's not like I could no fault in trying, But it's at the end of the day, like he is pretty much like he's pretty like in demand. I mean,
Yeah.
it's sad that he's no longer, gonna be voicing Mario and, the characters that he's been voicing for so long. But at the end of the day, like people, it's like Mario is a very iconic character, and Rosalina has also been really catching on, and I know, and even Princess Daisy. I mean, I know with all of the High on Daisy memes and everywhere, like she is everywhere, and Rosalina is kind of starting to really she's really starting to catch on with, the fan base, and even Pauline out of all characters,
Yeah.
like, yeah, we've seen her like what from the 80s, and now, yeah, for like the original Donkey Kong game, and now she is in like Mario Odyssey, she's in some of the sports games, so yeah, these characters are still going to be around, and I think with all of the, with these actors that are just bringing the characters to life, like with Charles and Sam, Kelly and Jen Taylor and so many of these other fabulous actors, it's just kind of like, the characters, they still live on for generations to come, and it's the performances that just really make them so memorable. And I think that's probably why Rosalina has definitely just been really picking up steam the last couple of years, especially like after, Super Mario Galaxy came out. It's like, man, we want more Rosalina, and well, we're getting more Rosalina just in not just for the video games, but there's I think I might have seen, like I said, plushies and toys and just in a
Mhm.
lot of merchandise now. So that's pretty awesome. So
Well, and she
thank you
was she
guys.
yes, totally. She was iconic in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
She was the first heavyweight character. She was like character of the year, game of the year. There was so much
That,
that,
yeah,
yeah, that
yeah.
came out of that. And I think for a lot of people, it's funny when I first read the directions for how they wanted her to sound, they're like, just she's the mother of all Lumos. Is that how they say it? Lumos? It's
It's
not
Luma. Yeah, I think
Luma something,
I was replaying the game like
something like
Mario.
that. Mother
Yeah,
of
it's
all
Lumas. Yeah.
Lumas. And I felt like, oh man, that's so me. I'm such a mother. Like I think probably every audition I did at that point in my life, my child who is, in college now was literally at my feet. And it was the perfect, being a voiceover actor is the perfect stay-at-home parent job, I did so much when my kids were little that at one point this was back when we had to go, work with engineers in studios and stuff. I do it all from home now, but um
I
this
miss those
this
days.
I know this engineer, I had so many times that the baby was with me. I now have He made me a demo reel of all of her burps in between things, because like literally I would be recording and nursing her, and then like we'd pause for a second and I'd burp her, and like he would record all these burps because I was there so often recording all of these crazy things, and my baby would be there with me. And so the fact that she was this mother of, the universe or whatever, I think I just put that all into the character. And I think that's probably why so many young people at the time just felt such a connection to Rosalina. And I love that. I love that her voice meant something to so many people and brought comfort. So she's definitely having a resurgence right now. That is true.
I mean, like she is in Smash Brothers, and you know how
Mhm.
big that game, that
Yeah.
franchise is. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah. And my kids to this day, when they play Super Mario Kart and they play Rosalina and she loses, they get so mad because it's literally me going, "Oh well." It's like, it's mom saying, "Tough luck, kid."
Oh,
You lost. Oh well.
oh well.
So yeah, my kids probably need therapy from it. It's fine.
Uh,
We always told them we'll either pay for college or therapy, your choice.
Well, don't worry. That cover has been co
Yep.
that is it's been covered, so you don't need to. You could just probably, all those years of trauma are gonna it'll
It's
come
gonna be
in handy.
fine. It's
I'm
gonna be
kidding.
fine.
I'm kidding. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, no, all my kids have ended up doing voiceover in one way or another.
Yeah.
My middle child has a series of books that was really popular called The Haunting of Sunshine Girl, and she got to do all the audiobooks for that and just kind of fell in love with it. And so it's fun. I love working with my kids, but
Yeah.
and you said
Yeah.
you do voiceover too?
Yeah, I said that I did like some audiobook recording, but I also do like, animation and a couple of video games, and I'm very excited to say that one video game that I recorded a while back is coming out on the Nintendo Switch.
Yay!
So
Congrats.
I'm
That's
in a
awesome.
Nintendo in a
Welcome
game
to the
that's officially on
family.
the yeah, Nintendo yeah,
Nice. Welcome
for
to the
real. I
Nintendo
announced it.
family.
Yeah, and thank goodness that I'm actually allowed to announce this one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, because a lot of the stuff that you do is like, oh yeah, we need you to be under an NDA, NDA,
Oh
and
yeah.
NDA. And then sometimes even though you're technically not under it, you just want to at least wait until a trailer or something about it is out or something. So, yeah, that's all I said. I'm in a game, but I didn't specifically say which character because I
Yeah.
want the character announcement to be made. But yeah, it's pretty fun, you know?
It's so exciting. I love it. I love it so much. But yeah, I cannot tell you how many NDAs. I've even signed NDAs for projects that have never seen the light of day. I mean, I just,
Yeah.
I mean, okay,
Yeah.
fine. And then there's other times when I'll record something and not know what it's for, and
Yeah.
literally not even sign an NDA, and then it will come out and I'll be like, "Oh, okay, cool." That's why I'm glad I have an agent that deals with all of the side of like negotiating, because half the time I'm like, I don't know what this is for.
Yeah. So I guess prior to booking, the Nintendo, the Super Mario stuff, and I guess after you kind of booked Rosalina, would you say that your name really started getting out there like after you were booking like the video games and stuff?
A little bit, yeah. So the people who cast video games, it's a very small niche. Not necessarily Nintendo because they're so big, they have their own, sort of thing. But all of the sort of indie voiceover that is part of indie games and all of that, then yes, my name, my voice, my reputation started going around, and I did definitely get um a lot more, not just auditions, but a lot more gigs and a lot more where I was being booked directly rather than auditioning. So that's really nice. I appreciate that. And I have a number of clients that I don't have to audition. They know what I can do. And it's kind of the opposite of Nintendo. So definitely and that's, I think, why you do Nintendo. It's for the resume, it's for the IMDb, it's for that part, it's not for the paycheck. It's really not. But you don't get that type of exposure from a lot. Nintendo is like the pinnacle. So yeah, it definitely made a difference. And even to this day, I get auditions sometimes that are just because I was Rosalina. I'm okay with that, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like when now, Laura, who is in, she also did like Genshin Impact, and she's done a lot of on-camera stuff, but it's really like Genshin, where it's like one of the biggest, well, it's definitely like the new hot like video game that is out right now, like with Genshin and also, what is that other one? Like Honkai, like pretty much a lot of the, those type of games is kind of like those have been picking up steam. So I think as soon as you book, either Genshin or one of those, I mean, it's not like it's gonna definitely get your name like out, get you into like casting rosters or anything. But I'm just saying like it's if you book Genshin, suddenly it's like oh my gosh, him or
Yeah,
her,
for sure,
yeah,
for sure. And Laura and I are both we're more of the minority in that we also do on camera. That is,
yeah,
most voice actors, that's it. They do voiceover. There's exceptions to every rule, but Laura and I
right,
have that. Laura and I have that in common, that we do both. And I'm not sure about Carrie. I don't know if she does. I think she might do just voiceover, but I'm
yeah.
not
I
sure.
think she does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but there's definitely, it's different. And I think sometimes casting directors like using on-camera actors for animation and video games and stuff because we are more familiar with a character and building a character and all of that.
Yeah. I mean, that is a good thing because you gotta juggle a lot of hats. That's kind of what I do.
Exactly. Well, and when I first began acting, a very long time ago in the early 90s, it was very specific. You did one thing. You did a certain type of acting and that was it. And you had separate resumes and you had even separate everything, separate emails, you had separate everything. And then over the years it just completely changed, and thank goodness, because like you said, I wear a lot of hats. I'm a producer, I'm an actor, I'm a voice actor. I do location scouting. I mean, I do whatever people need to have done because I live in Oregon, and there's a lot going on here, but it's still not as much. And then the pandemic hit, and then we went on strike again, and it's always something. So it's nice that people let us wear a lot of hats.
Oh, for real, for real. So tell us about The Haunting of Sunshine Girl.
Yeah, so that is a project that my daughter and I started with our business partner, Nick, and it was 2010. We did a reverse search on YouTube of what was popular, and it was October, and so haunting things came up. The first thing was Lil Wayne, and we were like, I don't think we can do an entire YouTube channel about Lil Wayne, so we picked the second thing, which was haunting, and it's Gilmore Girls meets Paranormal Activity. We were doing fictional YouTube before it was really popular. Now I see all these people doing it that are like, wow, you definitely watched The Haunting of Sunshine Girl. And we did it to get Hollywood to pay attention. It worked. Hollywood paid attention, and we sold the rights to the Weinstein Company. And it was being turned into a television show on BBC America. And then Harvey finally got held accountable for all
I
of
was
his
about to say,
crimes.
I was
For
about to
all
say,
of his
yeah,
crimes.
does
Yes.
anybody remember Weinstein
Yeah,
Company?
yeah.
Yeah.
So then it got, the show got wrapped up in all of that for a while, and then we got it back, and now some new producers are trying to take it out and find a new home for it so that hopefully it can still be a television show, because we still have a huge fan base that loves it and we love it, and we're hoping. So if anyone out there would like to turn this amazing show with a huge fan base into a television show, we are ready to talk to you. So yeah, it was fun. It was really good. I loved working with my kid, and actually my youngest ended up being the ghost in that show, and so it was really a family affair, and yeah.
And it's done like millions of views of yeah, subscribers. I swear I can talk today.
It's
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, I know we
so
say that. I talk for a living. Every
yeah,
time I screw
exactly.
up something I say that, like, I really do talk for a living, I swear. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it was very popular. It was, like I said, it was a series of books that was on the New York Times bestseller, and um
Wow.
Weinstein Books was freaking amazing. The women that worked there just, oh, they were amazing. And they protected us from a lot. They were amazing. So I have no complaints about Weinstein Books, and I am incredibly thrilled that Harvey is where he is right now. And even though my show got hooked into it, I'm still very grateful. So there's been some remarkable changes in Hollywood that were long overdue.
But I guess you kind of have like sort of I don't want to say an obsession, but Diet Coke. I
Oh,
don't
I
know why I've
do.
decided to bring it up.
I do. I do. It's true. Well, you did your research.
Yeah.
Yes. I do not have bad habits. No drugs, no alcohol, no loose men, but Diet Coke. That is, in fact, I'm drinking water right now and people would be shocked.
Dude,
It's
yeah.
it's a
I
lot of
got my
Diet Coke.
water. I got my little water right here because
Yes, I
it's
do.
hot.
It is, it is. It's warm in Oregon too. But yeah, and in fact, not that long ago, I finally had my agent out of Atlanta finally got me a voiceover audition for Diet Coke, and it's literally my first one in years. And I didn't get it, but I was like, you have to hear the passion coming through my voice. Even auditioning for Diet Coke made me happy. That's my pinnacle. That's the one I want. Diet Coke voiceover. That would be, I would die happy.
True. Yeah. I mean, it's like it's got to happen at some point
Right?
now.
It has to at some point. I'm putting it out to the universe. Diet Coke, Diet Coke, Diet Coke.
Yeah. Let's see here. Trust me, there's more that we could talk about when it comes to VO, but pretty much if you guys have seen a lot of my other episodes, we gotta go on so many different topics, and I don't really know what else new there is to really add for here, except like, yeah, y'all just really like Rosalina, I guess. So
Yes, you
there's your
do.
Rosalina episode.
And I appreciate all of you, every single one of you that loves Rosalina. I do not take it lightly. I appreciate it very, very much. So, and I thank you for reaching out and asking me to do this. This was very fun. So,
Yeah, anytime. Any final thoughts? And if you'd like to promote socials or
oh
any of
yeah,
this.
I mean, I am on TikTok. I think it's Mercedes Can Talk. I'm pretty sure. I got girl actor across the board for most social media, but for some reason TikTok was not an option. So, but yeah, yeah. I mean, I do post on socials. I love social media. Yeah, I if anyone has a video game they want me to do, please reach out.
Yeah. So I guess we'll probably wrap it up in the next part, but it's really not going to take long at all. So thank you so much for sticking around for this long. And yeah, until the next part, I'll just see you in a little bit and stay tuned for more Station Square. Bye
Thank
for
you.
now. Hey, welcome back to the show. We really don't have much else to really go over or discuss, but we do got that intro that I always, or, outro, outro that I always do before we officially conclude for the day. So, Mercedes, take it away, if you
Hi,
may.
I will. I'm Mercedes Rose. I'm the original voice of Rosalina, and this is Station Square Podcast with Robert Jackson.
Perfect. Yeah. So we pretty much did this thing, didn't we?
We did. It's
Jazz
awesome.
hands. Yeah.
Jazz hands. I have a lot of friends who are deaf, and that's thank you or excitement. So I do it a lot. Um,
Nice.
let's see. Aaron said, okay, it's a video game. It's called Bendy and the Dark Revival.
Okay.
Does that sound familiar at all?
Oh yeah, Bendy.
Okay. Well, I'll see if she's interested. If so, I'll email you.
Yeah, sure. But yeah, this was the outro. And any last thoughts before we, to the viewers out there that
Just
want to do this? Yeah.
yeah, I mean, if somebody is really into voiceover, don't let anyone stop you. I mean, if that's something you want to do, there's so many ways to do voiceover now that you don't need permission. Just go out there and do it. Make your own stuff, record your own stuff, dub things. Just don't let anyone stop you. If you want to do voiceover, go do it. Don't wait for permission. Or if you need permission, Mercedes Rose is giving you permission. Go do it.
Yeah. And we would have gone over some fun facts, but I kind of said the Diet Coke earlier. So
The Diet
I
Coke is
think,
the fun fact. Awesome.
yeah. And any goodbyes?
Just thank you. Thank you. I love talking about it. And thank you to all the fans.
Right on. And until next time, folks, this is Robert Jackson and this is Mercedes Rose. Check out her series on YouTube and, just just follow her on oh yeah, do you have like oh, you did mention social media stuff. So
I do.
just
I have
follow her on
all the
social,
social media.
yeah, you got all the stuff. So be sure to
I got
follow
all of
her.
it.
Yeah, just
Just make
check
sure you
out her
spell my
stuff.
name right. It's Mercedes with an S. Sorry, Nintendo.
Never gonna live that down. But
Right.
anyways, yeah, just check out her social media. Just subscribe to The Haunting of Sunshine Girl on YouTube. Subscribe to my podcast on YouTube. And yeah, thank you all so much. And have a great rest of the day. Stay cool and hydrated. And until next time, this is Robert Jackson signing out. And until my next episode, whenever, have a good one, folks. Take it easy, y'all. Peace. Bye bye.